Welcome to the IoT News Weekly, brought to you by IoT Secure. In this week's news, PLC systems are under attack, Amazon is trying to replace human workers, China is attacking building automation, IoT keeps strawberries fresh for Wimbledon, and finally today, don't buy that robot you want, get it as a service. Thank you for tuning in today to the July 1st episode of our IoT News Weekly series. I'm your host, John Nye, and let's get into the news. Our first story this week is concerning a critical flaw identified in industrial control systems made by CodeSys. CodeSys is a software suite used by automation developers as a development environment for programmable logic controllers, or PLCs. The company affected, CodeSys, did recently release a series of patches for their ICS and PLC devices that address 11 unique security flaws that were recently disclosed. The vulnerabilities were disclosed by the Chinese cybersecurity firm called NS Focus and can cause information disclosure and denial of service conditions, among other attacks. According to NS Focus, these vulnerabilities are simple to exploit, and they can be successfully exploited to cause consequences such as sensitive information leakage, PLCs entering a severe fault state, and arbitrary code execution. In combination with industrial scenarios in the field, these vulnerabilities could expose industrial production to stagnation, equipment damage, and more. Amazon is trying very hard to replace as many human workers as possible, and this last week they made a big step toward that goal with the introduction of their first fully autonomous mobile warehouse robot. As you can see from the images, the device looks a lot like a beefed up Roomba, or maybe a pallet jack without controls. It appears that this is essentially a crossover of the two devices. This device navigates around the warehouses using similar technology as a Roomba, but instead of cleaning dirt off the floors, this device is designed to pick up objects, move them, and put them back down again. Amazon named these robots Proteus robots, and they say that these robots have advanced safety, perception, and navigation technology. The primary upgrade from the previous models seems to be better awareness of its surroundings to avoid obstacles, and in particular to avoid people. Advanced persistent threat actors are targeting industrial control systems with a new backdoor called ShadowPad. A handful of entities are under attack in a campaign targeting unpatched Microsoft Exchange servers as the initial entry point, which is then used to deploy the ShadowPad malware. The primary targets of this campaign are located in Afghanistan, Malaysia, and Pakistan. When the ShadowPad malware was first uncovered by Russian cybersecurity firm Kaspersky late last year, the malware was attributed to unknown Chinese threat actors. The campaign seems to focus their attacks on organizations that provide services and goods in the telecommunications, manufacturing, and transportation sectors. ShadowPad, which was first seen in 2015 as a replacement for the PlugX malware package, is a modular malware-as-a-service platform used heavily by China for espionage of all kinds. Once attackers gain access to the vulnerable MS Exchange servers, they can deploy this malware and take control over building automation and other connected devices. In a recent episode of the IoT News Weekly, we discussed how Vodafone is getting out of the IoT business. But apparently they wanted to get a little more publicity before they finally cut the cord with their IoT business. On Monday morning, Vodafone announced that they had partnered with Hugh Lowe Farms to make sure that their famous strawberries made it to Wimbledon. Vodafone developed a new tracker in partnership with the Hugh Lowe Farms that enabled the farm to monitor each load of berries headed to the popular tennis tournament. The tracker will report information to the farm like the temperature of the cargo area, if any collisions occur, and the overall level of vibration that the packaging has experienced in transportation. Using Vodafone's My Farm web tool, the farm is able to store, visualize, and compare all kinds of map, geographic, and IoT-generated data to increase their operational outcomes. Finally today, you can now get robots as a service, at least if you happen to live in Tokyo or San Francisco. A company called GuardForce AI, who bill themselves as a robotics as a service company, plans to bring a range of robots to companies that need them. Their lineups include things like food delivery robots, disinfecting automatons, and robots that can act as customer service and reception. Their lineup is primarily targeted toward the hospitality industry for use in restaurants, retail, and hotels. The chairman of GuardForce AI, Terrence Yap, expects to see significant growth, saying, with increasing labor costs and the aging population, in Japan alone, automated robotic services are expected to double from 2020 to 2026. Thank you very much for tuning in today, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so you won't miss out on future episodes of the IoT News Weekly. The description below has links to all the sources for all the stories that we covered today. And if you would like to learn more about IoT Secure and how we can help you inventory and secure your entire network, go to IoTsecure.io today.